Hey everybody, Aaron here with another safety video. Today what I want to do is talk to you a little bit about employees, companies that have employees who are running their company. In other words, instead of the owners or the leaders running the company, the employees are in charge. So if that's you, maybe this video will help. And the reason I came up with this idea or had this idea for this video is just I was preparing for a call this past week, and I actually was just reflecting on companies, business owners that I've worked with in years past, more specifically the small business owners, who have like somewhere between 30 and 100 employees. And I remember, I thought that might be the case for this business I was looking at. It turned out not to be, but it did cause me to reflect back and think about some of the companies who uh, literally their employees were in charge of their company. The owners or the owner of some of these companies, was in a situation where finding good help was difficult. And, the idea of being able to replace key employees was at least at least his opinion was that would be difficult to do and they would be very hard to replace. And so what happened here is that mindset um, kind of created a situation where the employees, they kind of could tell that the owner was leaning on them and really needed them. And unfortunately, those employees took advantage of that. And they began to think that they were in charge of the business. And they begin saying, no, I'm not going to do that, specifically around safety related stuff. And they started just taking liberties and doing things that really aren't right. It was really not right. But the owner of the business was not really positioned to fire them and replace them. Again, because the mindset was, well, I really need these people. And if they quit or if I fire them, I'm not going to have someone to replace them. And so anyway, I had that thought this week and I was thinking, if that's you, how do you fix this problem? And what's the impact on safety? Well, first of all, the impact on safety is they're in charge of it, so it's not going to get done. They're not going to take it seriously. And honestly, if someone is doing that to you, the truth is these are the same kinds of people who will sue you, who will file, fraudulent workers' compensation claims and all that kind of stuff. You really, your business is very exposed when you have that kind of setup. So what do you do to turn that around? My honest answer is I have never seen anyone turn that around. The companies that have that problem that I've seen in the past just kept kind of scraping along. And I don't know where some of them are today, but if it were me, I think what I would do is I would come up with a plan on how to attract and get the talent that I need in order to make this work. In fact, I would go ahead and begin conducting interviews, and I would begin lining up people who would be interested in filling those positions. And I would do that personally. I wouldn't outsource that. Unless you have a really good recruiter and a really good interview process. If you don't have a system in place for that that's really strong, chances are you don't if you have this problem, then you're going to have to rely on instinct a little bit. And you're going to have to set some strong expectations up front if you decide to replace some of these people. And then once you have these people lined up, I think you have to make hard decisions and you have to fire people. And that sounds rough, but again, if they're compromising on safety and you're asking them to do safety training or safety inspections or whatever it is, and they're saying no, well, that just cannot be. You will win in court every single time if that's the kind of problem that you're having with your people. And so, again, talk to your attorney first. I'm not a lawyer, but I think just generally speaking, everybody knows when you have workers who will not comply with the safety, standards or rules that you have set up, that's grounds for termination. And the reason why is because they're a danger to themselves and they're a danger to everybody else. And honestly, you cannot comply with the law if they're not going to do what you ask them to do. Because what you're asking them to do are the things that the government, the state or the federal government is asking you to do. Federal OSHA, Cal OSHA, whoever. So anyway, that's what I would do. I would come up with a plan. I would find a way to attract some people to interview for some positions, and I would begin planning right away. I would begin interviewing, and I would get a list of replacement people, and these are leadership roles I'm mainly talking about. And then I would simply replace them as soon as possible and go from there. As far as the employees are concerned, the lower level who are not in leadership or management roles, well, you let the managers, if you have strong leaders, strong managers, they will deal with them appropriately. Again, I know this sounds rough, but man, people can inflict a lot of damage upon your company. They can destroy your company literally overnight. And if you don't have this under control, you won't have a business. And then nobody has a job. Then what? So anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that helps. If you think differently about this, put something in the comments. I'd like to hear your opinion.